As an Iranian immigrant, foods, tastes, and smells have been a safe and warm place for me to escape to. The tastes that helped me heal the wound of distance and connected me to my loved ones back home. Now, I invite you to visit my childhood world. Sit cross-legged so we can see the pomegranate and sing. The Seed of Paradise. Episode 1. Garlic Yogurt. A massive part of my childhood has been spent in the mountains of Iran, in Lar Valley, near Damavand Mount. Every summer, we used to leave behind all our city life in Tehran and move to the summer pastures. We packed all of our life in the back of our dusty, loud, and unbuttered blue Nissan truck, and we were ready to go. گل به این پاکیزگی از آب لال میخورد گل به این پاکیزگی از آب لال میخورد قصه دیوانه را مرد عاقل میخورد مرد عاقل میخورد. When we arrived at the foothills, we would park our cars and wait for our Afghan herdsmen to bring our beloved mare, Nazi. It's a Persian name that means charming, graceful, and cute. He also brought some chubby grey donkeys. Then we would load the khorjins on them, which is a Persian term for a pack saddle, to bring them to the tents. Actually, my father was so easy on Nazi and wouldn't give her much to carry, 'cause he loved her so much. I was always placed on Nazi and behind Rasul. He is one of my father's cousins, a kind, pretty, harmonic, charming, reliable, strong young man with a stunning Persian mustache and a touch of tenderness, an amazing balance of a modern nomadic man. As I said, I used to be placed behind Rasul. My main problem with him was that I used to feel like I was sliding down the horse and asking him to move forward a bit, but he was so busy being in the zone and singing nomadic Persian songs. To reach the tents, we had to pass about 10 hills, which meant hours of riding. We had to go up the mountain pass and then down the other side. While going downhill, I would naturally lean forward, and I pressed a bit too close to Rasul. And honestly, no complaints. And while going uphill, I was busy trying not to slide off the horse, and I had to tighten my hands around his body. Again, no complaints. The thing is, after a while, Nazi was tired, so we had to walk the rest of the journey. Behind the last hill, there was a meadow of Maryland golden aster flowers, and that means we have arrived. Suddenly, all children would feel a bit sick and very exhausted. Auntie Esmat, who passed away recently and I could not be there to grieve for her, used to say, "Oi, the mountain's spirit is upon you," which means that you are dominated by the forces of the mountain. She would open the khig, which is a leather pouch used by nomads to carry and preserve dairy. She would put some fresh yogurt in a bowl, lick the remaining from the fingers, and give an enthusiastic bah bah. Then she would bring a mortar and pestle and crush the garlic, add some mint and salt, and mix it with the yogurt. She used to say that this will break the mountain spell. And it actually worked. Sometimes I would pretend to be sick only to get some more seer must or garlic yogurt from Auntie Esmat. Then all children would sleep under wool duvets with our socks, jackets, and gloves still on to avoid the extreme cold weather of Lor. And when we woke up, everything was set and ready for our new nomadic life. When they gave me the news of Auntie Esmat's passing away, I was devastated. I felt a huge part of my childhood memories passed away with her, and in my heart, it took me a long time to fully grieve. It took me a long time to think and accept that those days, with those uphills and downhills, are somehow ended. When those kinds of people pass away, I feel a certain kind of sadness, thinking about how no one else is continuing the traditions that they carried their whole life. And the newborns in our family will never get haunted by a mountain and will never experience the spell of the mountain getting broken with garlic yogurt. And also, there is no Nazi anymore as well. She left us a long time ago. The naughty horse of my dad who served our family really well. But honestly, I'm so happy that I could share this recipe and the story behind it with you. Follow my podcast and stay tuned for more Persian stories. See you later!